but I'm reading from this book. I'm actually rereading this book called The Mindful Athlete. I read it a long, long time ago. The Mindful Athlete is just a phenomenal book. I love reading book on sports, and there's such a strong correlation between elite entrepreneurs and professional athletes. Hello, Queen. Hello, everybody. So if you guys do not know me, for all of my new followers, my name is Tina Oliver. I'm an executive coach for elite entrepreneurs and high-end achievers, and I just help you guys become mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually healthy and strong AF so that you can go ahead and execute in your business and in your life as your most elite self. So today I'm reading just a segment from here. I combine this with the stair stepper and it does get me through my 20 minutes, okay? And the number one key to high performance, or as athletes call it, is being in the zone. It's where nothing else exists. If you think of in the zone as like the George, what is it? George Mumford, who's the author of this book, explains it as the eye of a hurricane. So I live in Florida. We actually are in hurricane season, but thank God, like, we have not gotten hit with anything. So if you think of in the flow or in the zone as the eye of a hurricane, and it is like that calm within all of the chaos and all of the storm and all of the destruction going on. So whether you're playing an elite sport, whether your business career is a elite game, because it is, and you've got all of this chaos going on, all of this noise, all of these distractions, all these things pulling at your attention, how do you keep that that flow zone during the times of like all the things going on around you? And that is really how he explains it, being like in the zone, is it's like nothing else exists and you're separating the stimulus from the response, and it's just like a clear channel, and everything else is like kind of like in slow mo, so you can see exactly what's going to happen before it happens, so you make very conscious, intentional decision. It's almost like everything is just like going in order and you're just operating at peak state. So that's how he describes it. I thought it was pretty genius. And today we're going to be talking about the number one key to high performance, which correlates back to being in the zone, as a lot of professional athletes or people talk about. So can you go back in a moment in time and think about when you were in the zone? I know when I think about it, I remember this one moment when I was like at the peak of playing ice hockey, and I was just like mastering my stick handling skills, and I just always visualized doing a wrist shot. So they call it a wrist shot. And I would do a wrist shot, and I saw the goalie, but it's like everything else just like was in slow motion for that moment. And I was doing this like move, and I had been practicing this move where I stick handle and I put the puck, and I hit like the inner part of my skate, and then I hit the puck up like do this little trick, and then I do this like fake deke, and then I do a wrist shot, and it hit the top inside of the net, the top left-hand corner. It was like just perfect. I saw it before it happened. And then I remember just being in such a flow state, and then people are coming at me, but I was just like so smooth. And it ended up just going in the left-hand corner of the net. And I remember it as if it like was yesterday that happened. And it was just like, I saw it happen. I'm like, holy schmoly. This is before I even understood visualization work or meditation or any of that stuff. But if you've been an athlete, you probably have had a few experiences where you felt like you've been in the zone, in this flow state. And so how can we transition that flow state into our workflow state, into our day flow state? And it's really about being fully present. And that's what the flow state is. Being in the zone is about being in the full present moment awareness. I often get to be in that space when I'm working with clients or when I'm doing these live streams. I just feel so present in flow. This is like my happy space. And so I want you to think of moments in time where you're just completely present and you just feel like nothing else exists, and there could be just chaos happening around you, but it's just like this quiet calmness and stillness within your mind, within your heart, within your body. So in here they say in the zone is the ability to be fully present. And that one thing I thought was really fascinating in this book He says the real key to high performance and tapping into flow state is the ability to direct and channel strength and skill fully in the present moment. And he says flow state is your ability to stay in the present moment. There's no denying that strength and skill are big factors in achieving high performance in sports and also in entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is a sport. I don't care what anybody says. It is a sport. And you got to decide what level you're going to play at, what position you're going to play at, and how far you want to go. And if you want to go for a championship, if you want to be the MVP of that championship game, and just taking it all the way. So the cool thing that they say here, listen to this, is he says, so one thing about achieving high performance is that players have extraordinary strength and skill, but that's not enough. There are extraordinary entrepreneurs that have reached a lot of external success, but internally there's a lot of chaos and turbulence. In sports, athletes can be operating and have a lot of skill and they can have a lot of strength, but it doesn't mean they're going to play in the game like for the long run. They can be in and out and completely disappear because the mind gets corrupted. Yeah, it is. It's definitely a sport. So you're going to have winning seasons, you're going to have losing seasons. And so I want to share a few things in here that you're going to love. So they say that the real key to high performance and tapping into flow is the ability to direct and channel your strengths and your skills in the full present moment, which as much as possible is to be in the zone, in the flow state, which you can achieve in your business, in your life, in your relationships, which it just comes down to being fully present and practicing a skill set called mindfulness. Now, the author is just a very interesting story. I'll talk about it another day because I want to stay focused on this topic. But I thought that was really important because if you want to achieve and stay in it for the long game, that strength and the skill set by being able to channel it in the right way is really going to get you to that MVP championship level in your business and in your life. So it says the mind, and this what it comes down to says the mind is a muscle and you need to take care of it through daily practice. Now, the biggest thing that I see happen tremendously with people is that they don't know how to, they call it the monkey mind in yoga. I call it like the chaos of the mind, but they call it the monkey mind in yoga. And it goes back to the beginning of when I came on this live stream of talking about how George Mumford talked about it being like a hurricane. And there's the center of the hurricane, which is like this calmness. So you can have like all these issues going on in business or all these issues going on in life, but there's like still a peace within you. And there's that, like that's being able to like control your mind or to be able to take a healthy time out and have healthy tools to be able to help you process negative thoughts and emotions and do a lot of programming. I had a coaching session the other day and we were just talking about the phases that this person is going through with the reprogramming and tapping into the subconscious to bring conscious awareness to start operating from the superconscious. And it's such a process where the things are so simple. The tools and the exercises and your daily methods of operation are so simple, but the mind is like shit talking it. Do you know what I'm saying? So the mind is like, this is dumb. You're wasting your time. This isn't helping. And one thing I will share one little part about the athlete, and I can completely just relate to a lot of his stories in different aspects of my life. But the way that this person got into, like he worked for, I think he worked with Michael Jordan. So he worked with a lot of top performing athletes back in the day. And he came from a space of addiction and he got into the space where he was at such a bad space that he had no other option but to surrender or die. And I did a live stream yesterday about, unfortunately, I feel like one of the most dangerous spaces to be in is the space of good because it's a gray space. And that gray space is dangerous because, unfortunately, where we see, and even in my life, things that really got me to move forward was that I had to hit such a low. And think about a moment of time where you actually have that fire inside of you is because you're like, I can't live like this anymore. But why do we not say that for when we're in that space of good? You know, why do we not look at that space when we're in that good space and we're like, I can't accept living in good when I know I was designed for great. I can't live in this space of being okay, of knowing that I'm doing like things half-assed when I know that I have so much more to be operating at full capacity. And when I did the coaching session with my client the other day, I'm like, we can't be on reservation anymore. The world is waiting on you to show up. And reservation, the reason why a lot of people go in this reservation, and I have to call myself out all the time, even I use the time of when I'm doing my strength training to practice this principle. And I'm going to share it with you right now. If you can integrate anything from today's live stream, integrate this. So when I am doing like leg press, I had leg press, and I had like a bunch of different exercises for strength training in the gym. And the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like I'm good. I hit my weight like threshold. I add another 5 to 10 pounds on, depending if I'm doing legs or upper body. And then it breaks that belief system of the stagnation of that good, where you see, I can give a little bit more. I can give a little bit more, and I can add a little bit more, just a little bit more pressure, so that I can tear those muscle fibers so they can get a lot stronger and recover and repair. So that's where that you getting in that flow state and really being able to connect to that mind body, that mind muscle connection, and start to really work on your mindset and on your brain. And your mind is like a daily practice where every single day you just have to reframe it. And then there's this in this part where he was talking about having these withdrawals and being in the bathroom stall and just saying the prayer of serenity. And then for a whole year, he's like, I really did not think that my life was going to change. I didn't think anything was going to. And then a year goes by, and finally the shifts start happening. I feel the internal things happening. And I shared in my stories earlier that I've been, just checking in with friends and acquaintances and people. And one thing that people are asking me is like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing the work. And I'm doing the work, meaning I'm doing a lot of vibrational, deep cleaning up. And the only way to really free yourself is to even clean up things on an energetic vibrational level, where you're really being honest and knowing, like, am I being in the moment and knowing that I can give a little bit more to this. And that's where being mindful and being in the zone and practicing the simple things like your daily methods of operation of like your morning and your night routine, and having discipline and knowing that you can have freedom within the discipline, but you can also have that structure, and that structure is going to lead to order, and without structure equals chaos. So that's something that they talked about inside of here. And then there's another section that I wanted to share with you guys tonight where they say, they talk about mindfulness. Remember, we talked about the number one key to high performance, which is your ability to be fully present, that is being in the zone. So mindfulness reconnects us to this center space. So where we fully experience the present moment and have access to the transcendent wisdom that's often associated with conscious flow. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And our response lies our growth and our freedom. And that's really powerful. And one thing too is I want to encourage you guys. Do I want to share one more thing with you? Yes. Okay. One more thing I'm going to share with you. So not found that center within. We react to a stimulus from outside with our monkey mind rather than responding to it from that quiet space that we can create between stimulus and response. We get so swept up in what's happening around us, notably all the reactive chatter in our mind, in our emotions, and in our body, that we lose touch with the present moment and disconnect from quieting the place within. And that's a lot of that chaos can happen. And so if you guys are just joining us right now, I'm reading you a segment from this book, and they talk about the number one key to high performance, which is the ability to be fully present. And in order to be present, we have to be mindful and we have to be self-aware, and or else we just get caught up in the everyday chaos of life, of things happening. And when you have certain things called your DMOs, your daily methods of operation, and these things that you just show up for, it allows you, when you're taking care of your body allows you to just move energy and to help quiet the chaos of the mind. When you're doing your meditation and you're journaling, you're creating a self-awareness practice where you can go back and you can audit your day and you can look back at your behaviors and the way that you reacted to things. And then there's doing something where you're reframing them and you're creating new memory patterns in your brain called neuroplasticity, where you're going back and you're seeing, okay, this is what I would do a lot differently next time. And you're writing it as if it's in the present tense. So it's almost like you're the athlete, or when you played sports. And I don't know if you've ever did this, where you play sports and then you would watch your performance and you'd watch it as a team and you'd watch it with your coach, and they'd go back and they'd give you suggestions, because sometimes you have to take a step back and you have to see, oh, I see what I did in that position, and this is how I need to start practicing to move things a lot differently. So having tools in place of learning how to process negative thoughts and emotions, how to become more emotionally available so you can have the ability to manage your emotions, to operate from a space of emotional intelligence, really knowing how to master the mind, the body, your emotional state, and then also like operating from that center space, that calmness from higher consciousness. So we do have openings in the inner circle where I teach you actual tools and steps and processes. Right now, we're working on establishing non-negotiable staples, habits, behaviors, your DMOs, your daily methods of operations, your human performance systems of processing. You guys call them SOPs. I call them SOPs of human performance. So we break them down, really simple, building out strategy this week. I would love to have you part of the team huddles, part of the inner circle. You can have access to that at tanyacoliver.com/inner circle. And if you just want something free, make sure you download the free 90-day accountability calendar and just take it month by month, which is tanyacoliver.com/calendar. And great news, podcast is now up on Apple and it's up on Spotify and it's up on all these things, which you can get at mindingmybusiness.live. And I'm going to be doing a $50 giveaway for the person who screenshots it, shares it on their social media. Once you follow, you subscribe. We've got about 41 episodes already uploaded. I'm going to be doing uploads on Tuesdays and Fridays. Fridays, we're going to be doing just quick fix Fridays, 15 minutes of coaching. And I did not record this, darn it. So what's up? And so lots of really good things coming up and running for you guys. But I hope you have a blessed up day. And I just wanted to share a really powerful segment from this book on the number one key to high performance, which comes down into being in the zone, which ultimately just means learning how to be fully present, which is a skill set. It is a life skill. As simple as it sounds, it is not easy. So hopefully you take something away from today, integrate it, apply it. Remember, a lot of this stuff is 1% you listening, coming in, showing up. The other 99% is taking the information and actually applying it to everyday life. All right. I hope you guys have a blessed up night, a blessed up day. If you found value in this episode, make sure you screenshot it or share it and tag me at Tanya C. Oliver so I can acknowledge you and thank you. And I'll see you guys next time. In the meantime, remember to look, feel, and show up in your business and your life as your most elite self. And I'll see you later. Bye.